Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold on. I'm not supposed to talk about these things. That's what they say. They say you're not supposed to talk about this stuff. You're just supposed to go along with it. Just accept it, white man. White man. See, it's like they try to say you're racist if you talk about this stuff. But I'm not racist. I'm really not. I just think this is a little hypocritical, a little absurd. Because there is a trend in Hollywood right now that says that if you're a white person, only white people are they worried about. White people aren't allowed to voice act characters of color. But when you got a white character you want to voice, you can get anybody you want. We're going to take a look at that. Don't forget to subscribe before we get into this one. Just click that button, and it really helps me out. Let's get into it. So there's been this ongoing debate about whether or not white people are allowed to voice act characters of color. Now, on one hand, I can understand part of the argument. The idea that people of color maybe have had trouble getting work as voice actors, that there's less opportunities for them in the industry, and maybe they've been passed over in favor of white actors in situations where maybe that role could have gone to a black actor. Sure. But I don't think that needs to be the case in every single animated project. Again, it's a voice. Okay? I think it's part of the beauty is that a white guy can be a black guy can be an Asian guy can do a white guy. Okay? You can do whatever you want. It's kind of beautiful in a way. The idea that no matter what, you know, your voice is not racially identified as one thing or the other. Okay? That we are all equal in a way. Does that make sense what I'm saying? But other people, they disagree. Voice actors, this is from Vox, are fighting to change an industry that renders them invisible. And of course, in the wake of nationwide protests against police brutality, I mean, look, and again, I'm a guy, I support Black Lives Matter. But Black Lives Matter clearly morphed into like this very weird thing where we were like, you know, police reform would be great. It would be great if the police were a little nicer, a little less, you know, beat you up for breaking the law. And instead they're like, well, we're gonna, you know, change your favorite TV shows. And we're like, well, that's not really what we're asking for. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna, you know, Apu on The Simpsons, we're not gonna let him be on the show anymore because he's racist. And you're like, I don't think that's gonna solve the problem that we're having. Again, comedy shows removing blackface episodes, a certain football team ditching its racist moniker. I believe that was the Washington Redskins. And now these white actors, I don't know if they're doing it because they feel like it's the right thing to do, or if they're doing it because they're like, dear God, I don't want to get canceled. So here you have someone, Kristen Bell, who I guess played a character on this show, Central Park, which is it was a mixed race character. This is a time to acknowledge our acts of complicity. I don't know why it keeps going away. Let's take a look at that character real quick. I believe it's this girl right here, Molly on Central Park. Playing Molly in Central Park showed a lack... God damn, stop clicking on it. Showed a lack of awareness of my pervasive privilege. Casting a mixed-race character with a white actress undermines the specificity of the mixed-race and black American experience. And then a whole big thing about why everyone's racist. Look, again, I find this silly. I find it silly that Allison Brie is like, I'm sorry I, did the voice of a Vietnamese American. Or Harry Shearer says, I'm sorry I did Dr. Hibbert. Mike Henry as Cleveland says, persons of color should voice characters of color. And, of course, Jenny Slate is... Nobody watches this show. But if you watch that show, you can't have a white girl voicing her. It's very racist, right? For some reason. You can't have a white person do the role. I really can't wrap my head around it. I really don't know. Look, I can almost say maybe you have a point with somebody like Apu, who people have said is a racist stereotype. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we just know that accents are humorous. If you go to another country, they're going to do an American accent, and it's going to make them laugh. I don't see why doing an Indian accent is racist, but sure, you might have a point there. But characters like Missy Cleveland, Allison Brie on, Diane Nguyen, they aren't like racist stereotypes. If anything, they're played very, very straight-faced, so it's not like a white person's portraying them and doing it in a racist way. I think they're making those characters believable, identifiable, funny, So I don't see the issue. But even if I agree with this, okay, let's go along with it. Let's say that only people of color can voice the characters of the same color as them, which is an absurdity that I don't want to agree with, but sure, let's go along with it. By that virtue, should white characters be voiced by black people? I mean, I would say if we're really going by the book, if you say like somebody's race is integral to, because what they're saying is your race is integral to understanding the character. I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at this statement. Where was it? From what's her name? It undermines the specificity of the mixed race and black American experience. So what she's saying is, I can't understand what it's like to be mixed race, so I shouldn't voice this character because when I do it, it won't be authentic. I won't be portraying them the way a mixed race person, actually talks. It's a very strange argument. But by that argument, would a black person be able to correctly voice a white character, not knowing the white experience? I mean, if this is the argument you're making, that it's all about your experience within that race and that's going to lend itself to the role, then theoretically, black people should only voice black people, white people should only voice white people. Why'd I bring that up? Here's SpiderWoman. There's SpiderWoman. What color would you say SpiderWoman is? I'd say she's a white lady. That's a white-looking lady. That's a white lady, I would say. SpiderWoman, who has been appearing since 1977. Her alternate ego is Jessica Drew, as you can see from her very first appearance there. That is a white lady, I would say. That's a white lady. So let's say I want to put this character, this Spider-Woman, I want to put her in the Spider-Man universe. You know what people love? They love that Enter the Spider-Verse movie. They're working on a sequel. Well, I'm sure that they will rely on the fact that the only way to portray a character is to know their racial background, to have lived the lived experience of a white woman, because that's the only way to portray them correctly. So let's take a look at Spider-Woman's voice actress. Uh-oh. Oh, no. What? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on one second. I'm confused. Right here. If you cast a character of a different race, you're not going to understand the specificity of that experience. The specificity of the white experience. And yet here we have Issa Rae. Issa Rae, an actress, will be voicing Spider-Woman. Now, I know I'm not supposed to talk about it. I know they don't want me to talk about this, but I feel like we should talk about this. Here's the thing. I don't have an issue with this. I have no issue with a black lady doing a white lady's voice. It's a voice. I have no problem with it. Okay? Again, I think part of the uniqueness of voices is that a human being can be anything. You could voice a white lady, a black lady, an Asian lady. You could voice a cartoon dog. You could voice a cartoon squirrel. Anybody can do a voice. It's great. It's one of the great things about voice acting. It's a very interesting art that one person can voice such a wide variety of characters. Why would you hold them back and say, well, you're only allowed to do white people and cartoon animals? It seems wrong. I think everybody should be able to do whatever they want. But, okay, I mean, the people who tell us what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to feel is that they're being rendered invisible when, again, you do not understand you don't understand the white experience. How could you possibly understand the white experience? And for some reason, voicing a woman who is a spider, apparently, according to this people, you need to understand what it's like to be a white lady who's also a spider. And you as a black woman, according to them, I didn't say it, they said it, according to them, you can't do it. You'll never understand. Let's be real. And I'm not mad at this actress. Again, I have no problem with her being Spider-Woman. What I'm mad at is, I guess, the people who've just rolled over. I'm mad at this Kristen Bell. Okay, Kristen Bell, 2.7 million followers. Now, this is somebody who has already established themselves in Hollywood. They are getting plenty of roles. Okay, so it's very easy for them to give up one role. They go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to stop doing the voice acting on this one show. Clearly, this woman has money in the bank. She can go get work anywhere else. Another one that drives me nuts, Allison Brie as Diane Nguyen, the show is already done. She already finished the show. And now she's going, God, you know, I have to apologize for that racism. I mean, I'm still getting a paycheck, obviously, from all the residuals of everybody who streams it on Netflix. I'm not going to turn that down. But I just feel awful about it, guys. I feel really awful about all that free money I keep getting from the show. Okay? So you have people who, again, are already established, have already made their money, are able to get roles elsewhere. And then let's imagine you got an up-and-coming voice actor, one of these horrible white people. I know we don't like the white people, but let's try to feel sympathetic towards a white person for once, okay? White guy just trying to get some work, or a white lady just trying to get some work in the industry, and they come along, and all of a sudden they find out, yeah, you're not allowed to have like half these jobs. We have no room for you. I mean, not only are you not allowed to voice the people of color, but for diversity's sake, we're also going to find people of color to voice the white people. What's going on? What's going on? And this is something I saw. If you want to see how crazy it's getting, Asian American voice actors. Let's see. Asian American voice actors question why white A-list stars are still voicing anime. So we're now getting to the point where they don't want white people to voice anime characters because anime is inherently Asian or Japanese. So, I mean, the number of voice acting jobs that comprises. Do you know how many anime there are? And you're going to tell all these white guys, literally hundreds of voice actors working in anime, are you going to tell them, sorry, these characters are Japanese schoolgirls. They can only be voiced by Japanese American voice actors. Like, do you understand the absurdity of where we're going to get to if that's what's happening? It's an absurdity. What's happening? And again, I'm not supposed to talk about it. They're going to cancel me just for... They go, Vito's one of those racists. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that you can't voice a black character unless you've lived the experience. Okay? You can't do a funny Cosby-like doctor. Well, that was what he was originally like. Now he's not. He doesn't want to be a Cosby type anymore. But you can't do a fun guy like Dr. Hibbert because it's, I don't know, it's racist. You haven't lived the experience of a chubby black doctor. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think it's a little hypocritical. And again, I have nothing against this Spider-Woman actress. I just think maybe we need to relax a little bit. I think maybe if we're trying to stop racism, this is not necessarily the best way to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so I can keep making cool stuff like this. We got a lot of cool videos on the way. I'm writing some cool scripts for some crazy videos. I got something in my eye. That's fun. What the? Ow! Ow! What was I gonna say? Yeah, we got videos coming. Oh my God. What is in my eye? This is the worst YouTube ending ever. Have fun, guys. Ow.